Hello everyone, merry post-Spoopy Day. Yeah, it's not Halloween anymore, but I'm wearing this shirt which I was supposed to wear yesterday. Instead I wore my Ghostbusters shirt, so I'm making up for it. Anyway, yeah, it's time for another Ultimate Fighter episode review. This is for Season 28, Episode 8, Be First to Be Last. And yeah, the version I found was kind of short. It cut one thing out, but yeah, I saw enough of that to talk about anyway, so we're actually going to talk about all the things before we get to the thing we get to the main thing. Things. So first of all, going to get the obvious stuff out of the way, the fight videos, not the fight videos, the home video packages. So the fighters in this episode are the last two female fighters, Macy Chiasson, and I know how to pronounce her name now because the episode taught me, against Larissa Pacheco. And Larissa is from Baratuba, not Germany, because I thought she was from Germany this entire time. I'm pretty sure they said that in an episode, but yeah. She's from Brazil. She was born in Marituba and moved to Rio de Janeiro and sort of lives alone but trains. And her mother still supports her even though she doesn't live with her anymore, so that was nice. And Macy is from New Orleans. She even experienced Hurricane Katrina. She had to move out of her house for 2 days because her mom was a real estate manager and she had like a lot of houses around that area in particular. So it sort of put a dip in her business, and it was not really well. It just wasn't good. It wasn't fortunate, as you would expect. So yeah, it was nice to see the video packages. Macy spends every Sunday with her family, calls it Sunday Fun Day, and they just have like a nice barbecue. They have a good party. There's like little kids there. They have like really nice slushy drinks, and it just looks really nice. I sort of want to go there one Sunday and just eat and eat and eat. But I've been working out again lately, so I should probably not eat and eat. Anyway, yeah. Next after that, now you know about my that I'm losing weight again or trying to. Next is the fight prep itself. Really, not much I can say about fight prep that I haven't said before about it in previous episodes. Macy is the best striker. She wanted to focus on striking, but learn a bit about wrestling. Larissa's a slightly better wrestler, but she's just as good on her feet. She's probably the better boxer between the two. Macy's good at all-round fighting, but Larissa's better at boxing, from what I could tell. But yeah, it was, once again, same sort of stuff. Larissa focuses on the ground, but does some striking stuff. Macy's focus is to be on the striking, but do some wrestling as well. Next, we have an interesting bit with Maurice. Like, it feels like not an episode goes by now where I don't talk about Maurice in some way, but he was once again drinking, and this time he got really drunk and decided to basically be annoying, really. It got to the point where he went to where some of the girls from his team were sleeping, and he just asked them, "Are you trying to sleep?" And they went, "Yeah." And he went, "Okay, sorry," and just left. He wasn't really physically harassing people, he was just talking a bit of nonsense and being a drunk dude. Like a stupid drunk dude. So, yeah, it was weird, but it did lead to some funny moments, like Maurice having a higher voice register than normal and just giggling a bit because of how drunk he was. I found that funny, personally. Next is well, I've got in my notes marked as weight. Basically, they all went to the performance. Well, they all went. Team Whittaker went to the Performance Institute because not Macy, Larissa was not really great on weight. She's the biggest girl there, and she was weighing 150 pounds when she first weighed in when she got to the institute. So she had to work really hard in that short time frame to lose 4 pounds. She did it, which was good. She did it in time for the actual weigh-in. But there was some moments where I was kind of worried that she wouldn't be able to fight. So, yeah, but she made it, and I just thought it was worth bringing up because it did add a little bit of drama to an otherwise mostly fun episode. Let's see. Yep, that's the next one. Okay, so Larissa managed to lose her weight, which was good. And then we have a bit of tailgating as Maurice invited Fraser. I think it's Joe Fraser? Or Justin Fraser? I think it is Justin, yeah. I could be wrong. But he invites him over to the pool room and they play a bit of pool and they have a couple of drinks because Maurice saw Josh drinking and he was going to actually pour him a drink and teach him how to drink right. And then it got a bit dramatic. Anderson De Silva came in, he called Maurice easy money. This was by the fact that I think Maurice beat Anderson in their first fight, in the first fight of the tournament, so it didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but, they do hope to fight again after it's all said and done. And it got to the point where Anderson himself was being a little bit annoying too. It even got to a point where, actually, Anderson fought Frazier. My bad. Anderson and Maurice did fight in the past though, and Anderson won that one. So yeah, I got that mixed up. I apologize. But yeah, Anderson. It got to the point where Anderson was so annoying where he went to Frazier and he started like bashing the palm of his hand on Frazier's head, like saying that that's what he would have done to him. Even though what really happened was Frazier had control of the fight and had Anderson grounded and just punched the crap out of him. And he even got to a point where Maurice did a great impression of that, where he just laid on his back and made his head bounce back on the ground a couple of times. Almost gave himself whiplash there, and that didn't feel right. But yeah, it was just really, it was just a funny little moment in supposed to drama, and they got to a point where even after they broke off and things had settled down, even though it was mostly a joking manner, that was when the weird cut happened. They went out into the main living room, and the last thing we saw, the last thing I saw before the cut to the fight was Juliana throwing something. I think throwing a ball to another fighter who was off screen, because we didn't really see if she was throwing it too. She could have been throwing it against the wall and catching it herself. I don't know, but yeah, it was really weird. Did I say Larissa or Juliana? It was Juliana. Yeah. And then we have the next fight, the last fight of the quarterfinals, as Macy Chiasson took on Larissa Pacheco. And to be honest, it was a fairly even fight for as long as it lasted. They both met in the middle. Macy definitely proves she's the best striker. She's got really good kicks. She actually threw a head kick at Larissa, which is kind of a weakness of hers, because we found out that Larissa was actually in the UFC before the Ultimate Fighter. Bit of backstory before I get on the fight. And her first fight was against Jessica Andrade, and Jessica threw a head kick? No, Jessica won by submission. It was Jermaine Durandame, who was the second opponent of Larissa, who was 19 at the time, making her the youngest ever UFC signee, a little bit of a side note. But yeah, she fought Jermaine, and Jermaine landed a head kick, and Larissa blocked it, but broke her arm, and the fight had to be stopped because of that, so Larissa took time off. And then we get back to this fight with Macy. So, yeah, it was kind of a weakness, but Larissa managed to tough through it, and got Macy against the cage, and eventually managed to take it down. There's some good ground pound exchange then. Macy managed to get a butterfly guard, get up on her feet, push Larissa up against the cage, and then took her down. Which did get her trapped in the guillotine choke, but she toughed it out, she got through, and she wound up on top, and in an on-top rear position, on a back position, and landed a bunch of ground pound in. Even though they weren't really the strongest strikes, they all landed, they were accurate. Some went to the back of the head, but that couldn't really be helped, because they were, like, super against the cage. And imagine my hand as the cage, and imagine my head as Larissa's head. This is where it would have looked like. So, kind of the only option that Macy had was to punch around the side, but most of it did land on the back of the head. So it really wasn't her fault. Stupid cage designers thinking they know everything. Psh. Anyway. Yeah, it was, yeah, eventually the referee stopped it and Macy won, which leads 4 each. 4 each, 2 males and 2 females on both sides, so, yeah. Macy won, and then we moved on to the semi-final deliberations. But yeah, well done to Macy, and well done to all the quarterfinal fights for just being entertaining and enjoyable. So yeah, the semi-final fights announcements. Dana called the coaches in, which is Gastelum and Whittaker, obviously, if you haven't noticed by now. You know, with like 4 or 5 episodes to go left in the season. In case you ain't noticed, we're in like, you know, we're in the last third of the season by this point. But yeah, it was nice to see Robert and Kelvin just chilling. Really, they didn't really have anything negative to say to each other, and they were both laid back, agreeable dudes. And they said, like, you know, Dan asked them, "Who do you think is the best male fighter?" And Kelvin went for Maurice Green because he was his number 1 pick. Robert picked Juan because he was his eyes pick. I think he was number 1. Either that or he did have a number 1 who lost. I don't remember. But, you know, then that's the same thing, and they all agreed on the same fights. And I'm going to announce those fights, if you don't mind. So, stretching my neck. Alright. So, the male fights we'll get through first, then we'll do the female ones. So, male fights. The first one was Frazier against Michelle Batista. So that one's going to be interesting. Then was Maurice Green against Juan, which was the fight you wanted in the episode prior, because, you know, that was when he was drunk and called Juan out. So, yeah, we're getting those. And for the female fights, Macy is going to take on Leia Letson, the woman who was thinking a lot and saying a lot about wanting to join Team Gastelum, and The other fight is going to be Penny from Team Gastelum against Juliana from Team Whittaker. So, all interesting fights. I'm actually quite looking forward to them. Yeah, it's nice to see like a more even playing field, especially. And also, if my knowledge of the Ultimate Fighter is correct, if it is to be believed, because we got past episode 8, because we got past the quarterfinals, next episode could be the Coach's Challenge. I really, really hope it's the Coach's Challenge, because that's everyone's favourite part of any Ultimate Fighter season, so I'm interested to see what they do, because in the past few seasons they've had some crazy-ass ideas, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, I can't wait for that. If it is the episode, it might be the week after, I don't know. I hope it's next week. Yeah, I don't really got much else to say. I enjoyed this episode. Blessed the quarterfinal fight's pretty decent. Ended it in a finish. It wasn't the most exciting one, but it was the right call, I think. And, you know, for each side, 2 of each gender. Yeah, like, I'm really happy with how it all turned out. And I'll see you all on... Not tomorrow. I'll see you on Friday. Friday is tomorrow. No, I'll probably see you on Saturday from Next Music of the Month review, and for the next UFC Fight of the Night review after that, because I know there is one on Saturday night, so... Yeah, I'll see you all soon for that, and I promise I really should get back to writing on the King Diamond episode for the concept. I will. Maybe. I don't know. I will. Thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.